Sagittarius, welcome to my channel. My name is Lola, and I'm here to do your May reading. Hold on, that intro sucked. Hold on. Sagittarius, welcome to the Soul Boutique. My name is Lola, and I'm here to do your May 2025 general reading. Keep in mind that these messages are general, so some parts may resonate, the whole reading may resonate, or it may not resonate at all. It's a general reading, right? So take what resonates, leave the rest. Keep in mind that energy is also fluent, so this may be taking place in the recent past, currently, or in the near future. I am super excited to be here. I miss doing videos. And then that's it. Oh, I did updated my description box. I'm launching a podcast. There's some videos in there. I'm hoping to put some more. It's going to be really focused on my spiritual journey from the Caribbean and things that I want to share. Just interesting facts and stories. So feel free to check it out. And yeah, let's go ahead and hop into your reading. I am doing my Celtic cross. We're gonna touch on money, career, love, and everything in between. So let's get to it. Spirit, what is the overall energy for my beautiful Sagittarius? I just heard Capricorn, but I know it's not because I just did Capricorn's reading. I did Capricorn's reading sometime last week. So something significant either with a Capricorn or around a Capricorn season. So I'm seeing this individual coming in, and they have this business suit, which tells me that this is some sort of like negotiator, mediator. I don't think like a mediator, like going to court or something like that. I feel like mediator, like someone that's watching for your best interests. So this could be like an attorney that you have going over some paperwork. This could be someone like that is, okay, hey, this company is getting it. This is the offer this company is giving you, you know, like what's the counter offer? Someone is educating you in an important process. I don't think that they're necessarily a Capricorn. I just feel like a very strategic, logical, matter-of-fact energy. It's someone that is really committed into making this happen. This could also be your energy for this month, Sagittarius. I do feel like very matter-of-fact, all right? I just, you know, straight to the point, short and sweet. Like, let's focus on the things that we need to be focused on. And then we'll worry about the rest. So let's go ahead and get into this reading, Spirit. What's going on for what Sagittarius overall energy for the month of May? May the 4th be with you. But it's the 6th. Okay, don't get mad at me. But you got the 4 of Wands. Okay, Sagittarius, I like it. We're starting the reading fire. What is the challenge for Sagittarius? Shush. I know it's a challenge. I know it's an obstacle, but it's a 9 of Cups nevertheless. All right. So we're going to take that as a win. We got to count the little blessings. All right. So let's go ahead how we can flip it and reverse it. Spirit, what is Sagittarius subconscious? We have the Page of Cups. Okay. I'm hearing like, what is it? Small movement create big ripples is what I'm hearing. A recent past for my Sagittarius, Spirit. Sagittarius, this makes a lot of sense. We got the Ace of Cups. What is the strength? Oh my gosh. Sagittarius, you're playing with me. We got the Emperor here, near future. Okay, claim this read. You better like and claim this reading. You got 3 cards that came out. You got the Sun. I like that. That's Leo energy there. We do have the 3 of Swords here. Okay, we see you. And lastly, we have the King of Swords. And I'm gonna grab him. Usually I don't, but let's just go with the flow here for a minute. Let's entertain this real quick. How is Sagittarius being seen in the month of May? How is Sagittarius being seen? It's being seen naked, baby. We got the Lovers here as your overall, or not your overall, but how you're being seen in the month of May. Energy surrounding Sagittarius in the month of May, Spirit. I'm having too much fun. We have the Three of Cups, and at the bottom of the deck, we have the Magician. All right, let's get angelical guidance, angelical messages. We got crystals, right here as your angel messages. They're saying one more. Listen to your intuitive feelings, Sagittarius. I literally heard someone say, shut up. I try to listen to my intuition. And it's because, it's because too much chatter disconnects you from your intuition. I feel like there's something that you should be holding closer to your heart, which means be very, very mindful of what you share and who you share it with. Okay? Let's go ahead and get some romance messages, romance angels for the month of May, Sagittarius. We got here, love yourself first. I feel like in that energy of you loving yourself, something comes in very unexpectedly. Yep. So at the bottom of the deck is unrequited love. I'm going to leave it there. Release your ex and trust. Trust that this situation is calling, this situation is calling you to have faith. Okay. All right, hold on. We still got a couple more cards, all right? Let me get finance and career for my beautiful Saggies. That's a lot, but we're going to grab it. Walk away. Okay, Sagittarius. If you were looking for a sign, we got it. But it's okay. Hold on. Because it's going to be good. Let me put the picture together. We got Destiny, Diplomat. Yeah. We have Influencer and Advocate. Let me put this picture together, Sagittarius. Hold on. I'm coming. Okay. Do I need anything else? Oh, yeah. Hey, ancestors and guides. What messages do you have for Sagittarius? Ooh, a lot of moon energy. So you got the moon guardian wanting to come out. I pulled them out. Dream messenger. Moonlight sorcerer. I just heard fuck around and find out. And wind's guidance. Hold on. How do you want me to lay this, Spirit? Hold on. Yeah. Okay, Sagittarius, let's hop into it because I feel like we're wasting moonlight. You know what I just noticed? That you got the sun and then you got the moon. So there's a real big essence of duality here that is going to really, play or a huge factor in the month of May for you. So let me go ahead and get started with this real quick. Sagittarius, your overall energy is the Four of Wands. All right. I don't necessarily feel like this is wish fulfillment. I think the wish already fulfilled. I do feel like with the Four of Wands is that you're really, really focused on making whatever foundation your dream has a lot more solid. I feel that you've been working at this for so long that for the longest, you started to believe that you were just building a wall. And in reality, you were building the base to a fortress. Now, how does that translate metaphorically, Lola? Okay, give it to me short and sweet. All right, so you could have been doing or working towards a goal, consistency, disciplining, you know, in a disciplined way, in a consistent way, in a committed way. And for a moment there, you felt like this was it. Like, okay, maybe this is where I'm meant to be. But Spirit's telling you, nay. Right, Sagittarius, if you take, I don't want to say take a step back. I want to say, if you look up, if you see past the next step, right? If you just raise your head up a little bit higher, you'll see that you actually build a solid foundation. Now, what the solid foundation is in regards to, well, for some of you guys, it's not love. I'll be honest. I gotta give it to you straight. For some of you guys, this is your life's purpose. So whether this is your, the career you're gonna retire from, whether this is, the ideal version of yourself that you've been working towards, whether this is a new found, I feel like I'm seeing myself in different eyes, right? And so Spirit wants you to take a moment to reflect on how far sorry, you guys, sometimes you just gotta put things in check. You gotta take time to reflect and realize how far you've come. All right, Sagittarius. All right, you guys, we're back. So, yes, so taking a time to, take time to reflect and realize how far you've come. You've built yourself up from the ground. You've done the work. You've done the healing. Now it's time to admire that reward, to see what vision you've manifested for the future. And so, as for some of you guys, I don't think this is a relationship. I feel like this is more your life's accomplishment, your life purpose, your life mission, the impact that you want to leave in the world. Sagittarius, you're very philosophical sign, right? You seek knowledge. You're constantly seeking experience. You're seeking expansion, right? You got Jupiter right behind your butt, all right? And so you're finally getting into that energy. Jupiter, I believe, is starting to go direct, only for a little bit. And so you're going to feel that energy propelling you forward. You're going to feel like things in your life are finally starting to move in the direction that you need them to move because they're manifesting for you, right? They're manifesting in an energetic way. So I don't feel like you're going to literally wake up one day and you're going to be in a tower, mansion, driving a Bentley. I feel like you're going to wake up one day and you're going to feel fulfillment for the things that you've manifested within yourself up until now. So that's where the 9 of Cups comes in as an obstacle. The 9 of Cups is wish fulfillment, but none of these cups are full, right? Now, this is talking about having the resources necessary to start filling that cup, having the things that you need in order for you to start feeling that fulfillment. Although the cups here signify something objectively that we can see, the meaning, the true meaning of a 9 of Cups is more subjective. This is about how you feel and how your interpretation of that wish fulfillment is going to come about. So think about manifestation 101. We first got to visualize it, then we got to start feeling it. And if we keep that going long enough, we start experiencing it. We start seeing it, but not necessarily in brand new things. We see it in the things that are already in our awareness, right? And before we know it, the things in our awareness starts switching. They start becoming what we want. Let me give you a short and sweet example, okay? So I've been trying to manifest moving out of here. And yes, I'm still in the same place I've been for the last 11, 12 years. But I was going crazy. I was getting to the point where I was about to make a huge, harsh decision. And I was telling one of my girls the other night, like, hey, I know we've talked about this and that is still the plan. But if I would have made that move when I wanted to, when I thought it was proper, we'd be a lot worse now than we are then, or then we'd be in a lot worse place now. We'd be really, really struggling. And so what I decided to do, because you guys know I'm a Leo, patience is not my virtue, okay? And I know myself well enough to know the strengths and my qualities and my, capabilities. There's my angels. Thank you so much, Archangel Michael. But I also know myself enough to know where I can mess up and drop the ball, okay? That's just awareness. And so what I started doing was, all right, so I put together, this was actually back in 2021. I want to say 2021. I put together a vision board of what I want my dream home to be like. So I started making this place my dream home. Now, as you can see, half of it is one color. The other half It's a different color. Hey, you trust the process. You mind your business, okay? But that's what it took. It took for me to start creating this into the dream role that I had in mind. So then I don't feel like I need to rush into my next step. Whenever that opportunity comes back around, I can choose whether I want to or not, but not from a place of need or scarcity, but more from a place of wisdom, peace, and acceptance. You see, so I started transforming things here and there, and now the house is everybody's favorite spot. Nobody wants to leave the house. That's a problem, but I'm okay because I ain't trying to rush my babies out of here. If it was up to me, they'd be with me forever. So what I'm telling you is that first it started with me visualizing it, how I wanted my home, like what type of home I wanted, what type of color schemes I wanted. Then I started little by little putting money aside and getting things to upgrade it, fix it up, give it a fresh coat of paint. And now, we still got some work to do, but it's beautiful. It's not somewhere that I want to run away from. If anything, I want everybody else to move so I can stay here and the world could be a better place. All right. So that's what I'm talking about. Having the resources that you need so that you can finally start feeling that fulfillment and little by little start making those changes that are going to lead you to the actual objectify manifestation of it. All right. And this is not just me fluffing things up for you. This is me letting you know that this is the method that works. All right. No matter what avenue you seek to explore, my beautiful Sagittarius, the truth is that you have to get into that energy physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, right? Before it can become something concrete. All right. So when it comes to your subconscious, it's the Page of Cups. All right. This is a gift that your subconscious is delivering to you that may seem insignificant, but has that huge ripple effect. It's something so small that will create ripples, which therefore eventually will turn into waves. And so look carefully here. We got the tulip, which signifies true love, unconditional love, right? Falling in love with life. We got the fish, which signifies sustainment, right? Sustainability, endurance. You can eat from it. It's healthy. It's good. It gives you the things that you need to survive, right? You have the protective cloak of wisdom and understanding and intuition, the head covering, right? You got feathers out there, which means receiving messages from the divine. And you have that huge cup, which in addition to this 9 creates your 10 of cups. You see what I mean? Spirit could have easily given us the 10 of cups, but where's the enjoyment of that journey? Here's your 10 of cups. Have fun. Bye. Then we'll be back for more, right? But that reflection where they said, like, I hid something where they will never find it and it ends up being hidden within the human being. That is that. Your subconscious is giving you a gift, whether it's through abilities, wisdom, a new sense of self, a new sense of passion, a new sense of peace and wonder, right? It's something new. It's something small, but it will last, all right? It is part of the missing piece of the puzzle. There's a lot of peace in that sentence. In the recent past, you have the Ace of Cups, which means the universe already delivered this through downloads. You see how the water is pouring out of the cup and you got those beautiful wings. Again, divine messages downloaded onto you, being offered by the spirit, right? Raining onto that lotus to create that new beginning, to supply nourishment. So in the recent past, you already got the blueprint. Now you're going to start seeing it manifest. And I don't think that this is all going to happen in the month of May. If I'm being honest, come on, energy takes time. But I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to feel good in the month of May. All right. When it comes to your strength, right? You got the Emperor, you got the Stoic, you got that wisdom. You have the discernment, the authority to delegate, to organize, to not necessarily dictate, but you got the authority to speak so that it can get done, right? So you're starting to step into your power. You're starting to look at things from a higher perspective. You're no longer looking up this tower that almost felt like you're just looking at a wall. Now you are within the confines of that tower in here. All right. And so with this card being as your strength, which means it's placed in the top portion, this talks about having that access to knowledge and understanding, having that influence be at the crown of your head constantly, so that you can better navigate. The ego here represents strength. It represents agility, right? So just because he's the emperor doesn't know he can't whoop, or doesn't mean he can't whoop someone's ass, right? Although he may not choose to, he'll have someone do it for him, right? But he didn't become the emperor just by grace and beauty. He became the emperor by the many, many victories that he had to win. And you can see that with that ram over there, that Aries energy, right? Starting projects, maintaining consistency, seeing things through and through, right? Even when people had an issue trusting the vision, right? So notice how around the emperor, it is a little lonely, because it does get lonely at the top, but not for long, because eventually the person, the people, the team that's meant to be with you, they're going to meet you out there, and together you guys are going to form a great council of amazing things. All right. In the near future, you got the sun here coming in to eliminate a period of pain, right? So this is not always an easy reading or an easy channel to interpret. Nobody wants to sit here and talk about pain. I know I don't. But if it is in regards to feeling better, overcoming, growing, right? I'm all ears. And so it may not be something that you want to hear. That Three of Swords, nobody likes that card. And I'm starting to feel bad for it. But notice how the blood spills out of that three, or out of that heart, right? It's not coagulated. It's still dripping. It's still live, which means in situations where other people, 1111, thank you. In situations where other people might have gotten or allow their heart to be hardened, close their heart off, or just, turn cold, you're still beating. Which means each of those swords represents challenges that you overcame. And here comes the light, right? Here comes the sun, healing, illuminating, and bringing peace and clarity to those painful periods that you had to experience. The King of Swords, it talks about the, I'm hearing autonomy. They want me to say autonomy, represents the autonomy, right? But this is something that you gather from those experiences. So you may come off as stoic, like I said at the beginning, right? You told somebody to shut up, and not in a rude way, but you're just like, listen, I need to be focused on this. I really don't have time for anything else. I'm not being rude. I'm really busy, right? And so I'm not saying that you're shutting people out. I'm saying that you're not letting nuances bother you. You have the sword of truth, right? You took the sword from the middle of that heart, and now you're going to use that as truth, because the experience have revealed to you what hides behind the mask. So now you have the autonomy to discern whether this is something that deserves your energy or this is something that does not. And so, as some people may call this really cold-hearted, very, like matter of fact, they don't know. A lot of people oversee that the King of Swords has a very big beating heart. But that is only available for the people that walk that journey with it. This is why you see that sword surrounded by that, I think it's grains, oats, I don't know. I don't know, you guys. It looks like grains. It looks like something that you'll find on a pond or at a farm, either or. I'm not from here, okay? But that talks about fruits. That talks about things that were planted, right? That talks about seasons, right? What we gather from previous life seasons. You have all of that greenery surrounding the shoulders, which means there was a process of rebirth. There was a process of purification, which allowed that person to stand in that power, right? And so, with that being said, when it comes to May, how you're being seen, the Geminis, or not the Geminis, sorry, the lovers, making choices, right? Being guided, making meaningful connections, pouring into meaningful things. If it's not going to help me grow, I don't care. I don't want it. Shut up. Right? Which the Lovers is a very, very important card. It is a manifestation of the Magician. The Magician is a standalone, right? You have it at the top of your deck. But the Lovers is the counterpart. This is, in a sense, your divine masculine. But remember when I say you had the sun and the moon, I feel like this is your divine feminine, divine masculine. So for some of you guys, this may be an actual connection coming through. For others of you guys, this is a more balance or equilibrium within your masculine self and your feminine self. You don't see it now, but in this energy, that person comes in. You know, the person, your team, that partner comes in, whether this is for business or romance, I don't care, comes in. You got peace lilies. Peace lilies purify. It represents purity. It cleanses. So this is something very divinely protected. All right. This is something that's going to flourish. I actually ended up buying a peace lily a few weeks ago. I just got my second peace lily. And you know me, if I'm going to buy a plant, I'm going to learn the spiritual benefits of it, because if I don't, then what's the point, right? So this is something that represents, it was actually something that was celebrated for back in the day when there was a war, and the winning team, they have peace lilies will be one of those flowers that they will use for it. Again, it represents purity, cleanliness, but the peace lily has a secret weapon. There's some crystals that it repels, that if you ingest it, you can be poisoned. So I'm not giving you fun facts about plants. I mean, if you want to purchase it, highly recommend it, 10 out of 10. What I'm telling you is that although it looks so, how do I say it, fragile, it looks so pure and so peaceful, it still has a defense mechanism. It still has the authority, or it has the power to tear some shit up, okay? And so that's what I'm saying. Like, you are in this vulnerable, protected space, yet you still have the power to take down whatever obstacle comes your way. With the people, the energy surround you, that's what I was telling you about. The Lovers, you're attracting people that are supporting your cause, that are wanting to celebrate with you, that are wanting to network with you. You're being seen and sometimes spoken about, but not in a negative light, but in an awe, like, wow, look how much you've glowed, you've grown, look how much you've overcome, you look beautiful, look at your transformation, right? Or, wow, we heard about this project, we want to put in, we want to invest, we want to help, we want to learn more. For some of you guys, I feel like you may be asked to do an interview, or someone wants to do a piece on you, whether it's a story or something, right? You're being highlighted. You're being put in a place where you're being celebrated and recognized for all of the things that you overcame, or the things that you are doing that's helping, or that serves as an inspiration to others. Your angels are telling you crystals. So the energy of crystal supports you and helps you with your present situation. And I feel like I don't think you need to buy crystals. I feel like these crystals you already have, or you've been maybe noticing or being guided to some crystals, all right? So pay attention to that. I remember that when I was going through one of my major breakthroughs, I kept having dreams of crystals. There was a crystal that I didn't even know existed until I dreamt about it. And when I learned about it, I ended up buying it. And that crystal, I still have it. It's literally sitting across from me. But that crystal significantly influenced my life in a beautiful, and it happens to be pink. Look at that. I can't remember the name, but beautiful, beautiful crystal. And I knew and I learned about it through a dream I had. So pay attention to the messages from your crystals. If you're feeling guided to a crystal, if you're seeing crystals in a dream, because you do got the dream message here, this is a crystal that is inviting you to work with it, or it's something given to you in dream realm. All right. Then you have to, listen to your intuitive message, and you see how she's holding her hands close to her chest, close to her heart, which means there's certain things that you don't want to be open about it. I don't feel like because you have people like, you know, praying on you. I feel like there's certain knowledge, there's certain things that Spirit just gave you and you only to listen and to hear and to know about. Later on, when you feel guided, you will find out about it through confirmation, which is why you don't want to share it. So one of the things that comes to mind when I look at that, this actually looks like the flowers I just bought last week. Okay, so when I look at this, it comes to, or what comes to mind is certain downloads that I received that were meant to help me make a huge decision. When the time came for me to make the huge decision, the conversation that I was having with the individual mentioned a couple of things, and that triggered a deja vu. And that's when I knew, like, okay, this is that. So let me go ahead and operate. So that's where I'm like, there's certain things that you're not meant to share. Keep it close to your heart. There's certain divine secrets that you're receiving, downloads through dreams, that you journal, right? You know, keep a journal of it, but don't share with people, not yet. The outcome is the Magician, all right? And then you got Justice. Oh, wow. I cannot make this up. Magician, Justice, and the Star. After that, you got the Six of Pentacles. So, again, envision it, feel it, and watch it manifest right before your eyes. You got wish fulfillment right around the corner. This wish fulfillment as your outcome. I do see that this is monetary. All right, so you're gonna see this through, I'm hearing like a grant. Maybe this is why I saw that energy, like negotiating, because there's someone here that's gonna watch for your best interest, and it's some of you guys may be working with this person to, like, let's say this is an agent, scouting. I don't know what that is, but if you know, then obviously then that's for you. Okay, let's move real quick. Which one of you guys want to go first? Okay, let's go into your ancestors, guardian angels. We have here Divine Messenger, interpret your night dreams. And I did mention, you guys, what I share, or I shared that with you guys about the dreams that I've had and how it led me to that opportunity, that crystal. Then you have Moon Guardian, trust the tides of emotions. There's a lot of energies taking place. I feel that new moon and full moon of May is going to be significant time for you to manifest and set your intentions. This also gives me like a milestone of when you're going to start seeing a lot of these things manifest for you. Moonlight Sorcerer, use the moon's energy for meditation and wind's guidance. Go with the wind and embrace change. So move to where you're being guided to. Trust that you're being led to the right place at the right time. Again, with the Star, I see things at the beginning, as to it, you know, at the beginning it was energetically. This is talking about that manifestation, that concrete manifestation. When it comes to your finances, we got Advocate. So you will find so much fulfillment in working for a cause. All right. You also got Influencer. You have just the right combination of qualities to connect with an audience, inspire change, and create positive impact. And we said that some of you guys may be getting this interview. Diplomat, with your uncanny abilities to form connections in human relationships, you serve as a bridge between worlds. And we said that with the Three of Cups. And lastly, but definitely not least, you have Destiny. And I feel guided to sharing this one with you. You have divine destiny to fulfill through your career path. Your work will help you, or will help elevate the consciousness of that planet. Look at that beautiful green. And this is in your finance, which means it's very tied up to your purpose. Once you start walking in that purpose, that finance is unleashed. I want to share something else with you. Hold on. Hold on, Sag. I do got something, then I'll let you go, I promise. It's worth the wait. Oh, dang it. I dropped everything. What did I do with this spirit? No. Okay, hold on. I want to check something out. Sag, just bear with me. Okay. All right, so you saw that butterfly, which is destiny. And then I want to show you something real quick. This is influencer, advocate, and diplomat. All right, and the interpretation of these is your talents, gifts, and areas of unrealized potential is what's going to lead you to this path of financial success and freedom. All right. For a lot of you guys through this process, that's when you're going to come across your divine masculine. For a lot of you guys, that's this energy right here. Waiting for his empress. Anyways, when it comes to love, love yourself first. Release your ex, trust. And at the bottom of the deck, unrequited love. So, and right behind it, calling in your soulmate. So, okay, I got a couple interpretations. I'll keep it short and sweet because we're almost at 40 minutes, and Lord knows I want to shower and go to bed. I don't feel that you are in an unrequited situation. I do feel like some of you guys may be holding on to the idea of how your person, your love life, your divine counterpart is going to be. And I promise I'm going somewhere that makes sense with this, but let's say that, for example, I'm just gonna share my experience as an example. When I first came into this journey, I got a reading and I was told that I was gonna meet a twin or a soulmate. Somehow I got into the somehow I received a message about a twin flame. As I'm reading and learning, and I'm new at this, I've never heard of the term prior to, but I learn about this. I start visualizing and imagining how this is gonna be. Now, mind you that when I first started, I was nowhere near where I needed to be in my spiritual journey. All right. And so I didn't have an idea of what a spiritual relationship is or what it should be. When I was manifesting my soulmate, I was manifesting and I'm not saying that this is you, but let me share my experience real quick. I was manifesting my soulmate from a point of view of kind of like a damsel in distress, and here's that knight in shiny armor that is going to show up in my life and just, we're going to live happily ever after. And so I looked for those signs in the people I was connected to or I was connecting to, and how quick that disappointment came about, right? I had to learn through a lot of fucking pain that my connection was coming from a old idea of what I had or of what I had as a kid. It was the way I used to escape my circumstances as a child. If you guys don't know much about me, I experienced a really severely traumatic childhood, and the only way that I could literally survive through it was mentally escaping and daydreaming. So as a child, I remember one of the very first dreams that I had was that I was and I'm a child. I mean, like, I couldn't even be, I wouldn't even be, I don't think I was even 10 years old. But in this dream that I will always remember, I was in a relationship with this person, and all of a sudden, my spouse in that dream comes home. And of course, you know, he finds me with another man. And when that happens, you know, I in the dream had to make a choice between which man I'm gonna choose. In my dream, I chose to stay with my spouse. My spouse was very, very sad, and I felt terrible for her and my spouse. And of course, the other person was really hurt that, you know, I rejected him. But for some odd reason, in that dream, I chose to stay with my spouse. When I was coming across these readings, one of the readings was saying that my love life, my divine love life path was going to lead me to a choice whether to choose love or stability. So when I was looking into relationships, I'm like, I will always go with love, because in the dream, I thought that I chose love. And I didn't. In the dream, I came to realize not too long ago that I chose stability. Not because of, you know, money's more important or anything, but looking at my childhood, the one thing that always lacked, was stability. From the moment that I was born, I was bounced around. I was never wanted, you know, and if I was, it was due to ulterior motives, because my dad was really rich at the time. And so, you know, if we have his kid, he's gonna give us money. So as a child, a lot of my, aside from the abuse, right, and the other things, but a lot of the wounds that I came to heal, my Chiron and Cancer's all about the home and stability, right? It was stability. But every time I would come across a connection, I would choose love, because I thought that I always wanted love. And it was so crazy, because people will always gravitate towards me. All of the people I've connected, and mind you, I connect, because some people I don't connect with, but all the people I've connected with, they share that immense love that they have for me and that I have for them. So it hit me one day when I was in my work, and one of my students was like, Miss Lola, we really do love you. And I'm like, but you don't even know me, you know. But I realized, like, all my life, I was looking for love, and I've always had it. You know, it wasn't in the family setting that I wanted, but thankfully, the angels, God, whoever you want to label it as, always sent love my way. So I knew deep down that I was always going to be loved. What I didn't know was if I was ever going to be able to heal stability. So here I am going into crazy ass relationships, looking for my twin flame and blah, blah, blah. And finally connected, had my awakening, and it was nothing like the movies. It was nothing like I imagined. But through that awakening, I came into my counterpart, and he provided me stability. Even through the things that I've been facing at the moment, which I'll open up a little bit, because I'm a veteran, and when I was deployed, there's certain things that took place around this time of the year, actually May. And so one of the things was it brought up a lot of the old wounds up. So I started exposure therapy. And recently it's been hard. But one of the things that, you know, even in my chaos, even in my own storm, this person brought me was stability. And not saying that there's no love, there is love. I've always had it, you know, I'm always gonna have that. But it made sense as to why in that dream I chose that, and why I chose the relationships, and why I was looking for that ideal partner. I wasn't looking for love. I was looking for someone that was emotionally, mentally, spiritually stable. And so when I came across and when we first came into connection, I had to grieve a lot of shit. Let me explain. A lot of the ideas, a lot of the beliefs, you know, I always dream of, you know, having kids with this person. I always dream of being married and living forever and having this and having that. And this is the couple we're gonna be. And nothing like that. Nothing like that. And so I had to grieve a lot of that, because up until I started grieving it, I will always compare it to that distorted idea of love that I needed, which I didn't need it. It was just, you know, in my unhealed wound. And so it taught me a lot. And the beautiful thing about it is that through this connection, I'm able to grieve that, but I'm able to grieve it surrounded by love, surrounded by constant reassurance. And it's to the point where, you know, even if I'm starting to fall back in old traits, I'm able to be aware enough to be like, hold on. I recognize I did this, I'm sorry. And I'm still met with acceptance, you know? Now, there's times where we will get up each other's ass because, you know, we're fiery and we're stubborn, and, you know, there's certain things that we've learned about each other that we don't talk about, okay? These are just debates that we don't have. But there's also deep fears that I overcame with this person. And so, grieving, it sucks. It really, really sucks. It's a lot easier. It feels a lot comfortable, a lot safer when you're doing it with the right person. So Sagittarius, this is where I leave it. And I love it because I just picked up all of the cards, and the way I organized it, the Ace of Cups is sitting right there at the top. And so your message when it comes to love is, do not quit on the dreams and goals that you have, but do allow yourself to grieve in which way you were expecting them to manifest. I love you guys dearly, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, Sagittarius.